Hello, welcome to the Meeple Mentor review of Nightfall. I'm Jared, and with me as always is Holly. So, Nightfall with a K, alright? This is a game from Red Raven Games by T. Alex Davis, and it has a story campaign written by Ryan Laukat, and also the illustrations, Ryan Laukat and Andrew Bosley. So, Nightfall is... Well, it can be played in one of three different ways. There's the campaign, there's cooperative, and competitive. Do you want to share a little bit about, what the cooperative was like?
So cooperative is basically battles. You're trying to defend elders around a grid map from dying, essentially. You're trying to keep demons from making it to the door of a monastery.
Right.
So it's a lot of maneuvering and planning.
So in a cooperative game, you've got demons that just automatically sort of come out at the end of each round. And they spawn in the center, which is like the portal. And they are trying to kill the elders. And like you said, there's one on every space surrounding it. So there's 8 elders that you have to defend. And we, as a team, are various knights. Now, we played it 2-player co-op, meaning we each also controlled one demon. But there's also the imps, which are kind of like minor characters or minions. And so in the game, you have to be able to move your knight to block attacks on the elders and then do damage and kill a bunch of demons. It's a race to get to, I think it's like 10 points. But essentially there's a track that, is a card and you move your token along. And at the end of a round, the knights automatically gain 1. But every time they kill a demon, they also get an additional 1 point. And anytime a knight is killed, the demons go up 2. Or no, they go up 1 if they kill an elder.
Oh, elder, yes.
Yeah. If they end up killing an elder, they go up 2. So that's pretty much how that works. Now, since we did it cooperatively, the demons were controlled by the cooperative cards that, come out. So you draw 2 and then you kind of, have those do those actions for the demon that you control. And demons always go first, and then knight, and then demon, and knight, etc. And then the end of round stuff happens once every, one of the characters, demons and knights, have had a turn and, spawn new stuff and get your point. But like you said, it is very much like a battle royale. You're constantly maneuvering around on the tiles. The tiles themselves, some of them have unique abilities. Do you remember any of the?
Regain health. Discard a card for 2 magic. Those are the only ones I recall.
Yeah, or you can discard a card or draw a card and discard a card or something like that. The way that you control your character is through your basic action card, and then 3 random cards that you use, from the deck. You have to use all of your cards every turn, and they each have 3 ways they can be used. If you use one discarding face down, then you get like a minor action such as, move or melee attack or range attack or something like that. Even heal is on there. The printed ability on the front of the card, there's actually a major ability and then like a minor ability, so you can pick one. Usually the minor ability gives you like 2, small things to do, or a choice of things. And the major ability is more situational, and, ideally you want to use as many of those as possible because they're going to be the strongest actions you get in the game. Your basic action card can let you move, heal. Is it heal? Move, attack, and...
Yeah.
Move,
heal.
Attack, and heal. I think that's it.
You're talking about the one with just the 3 on it.
Yeah. So everything's controlled by the cards that you get and how you choose to, use them. I found that the cooperative nature of like trying to figure out how all the demons move and what they're targeting was fun for a little while, but it kept getting very convoluted because we'd get into situations where we didn't know where, what could target what and where it would end up moving to. And there were certain choices that had to be made, and it was like, well, we're not playing as the demons, so I'm not sure what they would choose. And it was unclear if the minor or minion characters, like the imps, had all like range attacks, or if they only did melee attacks. Like none of these things were really specified.
And assuming that we did targeting correctly, some of these demons seem a little unbalanced with the cooperative cards that you pull for their damage, because they're doing some crazy damage.
Yeah, you could pull a card and then it'll say do 5 damage to something, and you're like, are you kidding me right now?
Right.
Or do 2 damage to everything on the tile, or like it could be devastating. Because you only have like a defensive trait that you can block damage, but anything else that you can't block, you take damage on your character. If you die, if your knight dies, you just get a new knight, and he comes in at the start of the next turn where he would normally take a turn. And if a demon dies, they leave the board, and a new demon comes out in the center once it's time for their turn to happen again. So it is just sort of this ongoing battle royale, where you want to live as long as possible, but at the same time you're like, at some point you just kind of have to sacrifice your knight for the sake of the elders, because the elders dying is 2 points for the demons, and you yourself dying is 1 point. But then you get a random draw for a new knight, and yeah, they have special abilities, but you never really know which one you're gonna end up getting and what use it's gonna be in the current game state. The other thing about the minions is you also gain as knights stone golems, which I also found to be confusing as to how we could use them to our benefit. Like, I don't think they were able to be, targeted for, I couldn't use a stone golem to block attacks, which was kind of frustrating, because then it's like, well, does that mean that that elder is undefended? Because that's a big targeting concern, is like they target first an undefended elder, but if my golem's there, does that mean it's undefended? Because I don't know if I can use the golem to actually block anything. There were a lot of questions like that the longer you play, the more things just sort of come up, and you're like, I don't know. And you kept flipping the rule book, and the cooperative pages, there's only like 2 short pages, like a page and a half most, at how the cooperative game works. And I felt like it was probably the afterthought of the game when it was originally designed, because I think it's intended to be played as competitive, and secondarily intended to be played as a campaign. And we wanted to do it, where we could work together. And I felt like for our review purposes, as a cooperative game, it's not as interesting. And the rules were a little bit underwhelming with clarifying how some of the automatic moves and attacks and things of that.
That said, I really do think it could be fun and competitive.
Yeah.
The demons, they have some interesting things going, so it would be nice to only have to control one demon or knight.
Right.
Because I was getting confused on what abilities can I use for my demon, because it doesn't seem like they should be played the same way in cooperative mode.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's set up for cooperative. I think I agree.
Yeah, the demon cards have special abilities and everything, just like they're supposed to be played, as a human player character, like controlling it. But because the cooperative rules say, like, okay, we don't use certain cards or anything for the demons, but like how much of their card printed abilities happen, and when those choices, matter, who makes that choice, and none of this is ever really explained or clear.
Like, is it automatic that it should go in favor of saving the demon, or like,
can we choose for something for our benefit since it's cooperative?
And then, like, is it wrong if you didn't see that thing for the demon and you messed up the play? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's
it also
it's a little too unpredictable.
Because of that, the cooperative game feels very much like constant upkeep, constant admin time, and like figuring out, like, okay, well, if this targets that, then this targets that. We move here, but if I move there, then I think the next demon has to go here. So should you move or should I move?
The term that's coming to mind is controlled chaos.
Yeah. It felt very chaotic to deal with, which I think somewhat is the point of this kind of game. It's definitely, a Ameritrash kind of gameplay. It's not like a Euro strategy game or anything like that. There's no dice, but your actions are controlled by cards and random card draws and things like that. Every piece in here, like all the characters and enemies and knights, they're all standees. There's no miniatures, so if you're a fan of miniatures, this doesn't have any. That being said, the artwork is really nice, but at the same time, I just felt like it has a lot of potential, and yet didn't really follow through the longer we played. We just kind of felt it got a little grindy.
But again, that is cooperative mode. I think we chose the wrong mode to try and play it in, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, so if you are, you're looking at buying games for you and your partner, and it's just you two playing games a lot, and you like to find games that you can play cooperatively, and you thought Nightfall sounds like a fun cooperative game, I would probably say pass on the cooperative game of this type. If you do play it, one-on-one would be very competitive because one player would be the demons, one player would be the knights, and you have a lot of choices at your disposal with controlling those kinds of characters.
And just speaking on that really quickly, as... what's the word I'm looking for? As effectively as we beat the demons, I'm not sure how easy it would be to go head-to-head. Because we scored double what the demons had, and even with their outrageous punches, they took us down a couple times, but, mostly we stomped them. So, and that could, again, go back to the what do I do when I'm controlling the demon for the cooperative specifically.
Right.
But
I think this could be a very competitive game if you played it competitively.
Definitely.
And you just want to get through your expectations that this is a very position-based game of like, if I move here, then he's going to want to do that. Or if I don't move, then I want to do this ability and then maybe try to get this done. And but at the same time, it's all random cards. Unlike, say, Gloomhaven, where you have an idea of what cards you have available to you and you can sort of plan ahead a little bit more. But in this case, you're drawing 3 random every time, and the positions change so fast in this game. And probably the more people that play as well, it's going to affect, like, you really don't know how you're going to be able to plan or move ahead. You just sort of have to deal with chaos every time it comes to your turn.
I did find also where it felt like the action cards maybe didn't mesh together very well. There may be some imbalance there.
Perhaps. And again, we only saw the Knights cards because the Demon cards are separate for the Demon player. But I think overall, if you want a very, aggressive and chaotic battle game of, just fight, particularly 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, this could be a lot of fun if you like that kind of chaos. If that's not your jam and you are looking for cooperative or something with that nature, I would say probably pass on this one. It looks nice, but it's not enough to keep it on the table for me.
Yeah. It's just not really my speed anyway, the constant battle type thing.
Yeah, it's not going to be for everyone. So that's our review of Nightfall. I've been Jared.
I'm Holly.
We'll see you in the next Meeple Mentor Reviews. Bye.